Hello, everybody. I am Josh Menzel.
And I'm Corey Hartle, and we are here in Frisco, Texas at the Toyota Stadium for the FCS National Championship game against the SDSU Jackrabbits. However, this isn't the first time that NDSU has faced SDSU this season.
No, absolutely. We've had a big game against SDSU back in October, which SDSU came away with the victory, 23-21, in a very exciting game. And I have no doubt in my mind that this game today on this field will be just as exciting, if not more exciting, than that game was in October at the Fargo Dome.
So what happened at the last game?
It was definitely a back-and-forth game. NDSU took over the first half with a 21-7 start to start the game by halftime. NDSU just seemed to have all the momentum in the first half. They had a touchdown from Cam Miller and a rushing touchdown by a passing touchdown to Hunter Lipke, and also one to DJ Hart as well. In the first half, it just seemed like everything was clicking for the Bison. Although they gave up a touchdown early in the game, it just seemed like they had all the momentum. And after halftime, SDSU came out with 16 unanswered points, and NDSU just had no rhythm on offense or defense in that game. And I feel like that's going to be a big thing today. It's like, who's going to come out today and play a full 60-minute game? Who's going to play more today? A team that is just going to come out here and play 30 minutes of a championship game is not going to win it.
So one of the big things that we've been seeing is NDSU's had a lot of injuries this year. So how do you think this will affect the game today?
I mean, that's an understatement. Injuries have just affected this team up and down, offensively, defensively, all season. Offensively, they lost their star running back, Hunter Lipke, for the season. Noah Gindorf is out, the star tight end. Two offensive linemen in Jalen Sundell and Mason Miller, they are out today. And then also in the playoffs, too, more injuries impacted this offense. Roger Nelson and Tamarick Williams got banged up as well in the playoffs. So this offense has been no stranger to injury, but it's just been that next man up mentality all the way through. And then on the defensive side as well, Eli Mostert got injured early in the season, as well as Jake Cava, he was out for the year. And Will Mostert just recently got injured as well. So both sides of the ball have been hampered by injury, as well as the transfer portal as well. Dom Ganella, DJ Hart, guys like that have been transferring as well. So it's been next man up mentality all season long for this NDSU team. However, South Dakota State as well, they have had a few injuries. Tucker Kraft, their star tight end, was not with them in their game against North Dakota State in the Fargo Dome, and that didn't prove to be too much of an issue for them as they still came away with the victory. But he is a big piece to their team, and no doubt will be playing NFL next year. But he is in today. He will be playing, and that's something that NDSU is going to have to keep an eye on today.
So who are some of the SDSU players that we need to keep an eye on today?
Well, the first player that I mentioned, Tucker Kraft, star tight end for them. He's been one of their leading targets. Also, the Yankee brothers at wide receiver as well. Those three players in the passing game have been a massive threat all season long for SDSU, and they're definitely going to be using them a lot today. I have no doubt about that. Also, they're going to be using a lot today on that offensive side. Their star running back, Isaiah Davis, he has been a big part of their run game. After they had Pierre Strong last year and you figured he was leaving, that they'd be losing a lot. No, Isaiah Davis has definitely filled the shoes quite nicely at the running back position. And also their star quarterback, Mark Gronowski. And when they were last year, he got injured very early in that game, and that hampered their offense against Sam Houston State. But now he is here. Hopefully for them, he is healthy, and it's going to be a big difference with him leading that offense. And I'm sure with him leading that offense, they are definitely going to be moving the ball a lot today.
So who are some of the key players for NDSU that we have that really need to step up today?
Yeah, and there's definitely going to be a lot of them that need to step up today. Quarterback Cam Miller. He hasn't been passing a lot this postseason, especially against Incarnate Word. Only one completion for 5 yards. They're definitely going to need more than that today if they want to beat SDSU. It's not going to be one-dimensional today. They're going to have to be multi-dimensional with the pass and the run game. They're not just going to be able to run the ball against this SDSU defense. Also, speaking of running the ball, Kobe Johnson, really the last man standing on the running backs. This running back class that felt like it had so much depth before the season started really kind of trickled down to the transfer and injuries. So now Kobe Johnson's kind of leading the way for the running backs at this point in the season. And as well on the defensive side of the ball, you got guys like Dawson Weber and Michael Tutsi in the secondary who are really going to have to stop that Jackrabbits passing game, which has been so dangerous throughout this entire season.
So I know that we've talked a lot about, or you just talked now about how Cam Miller needs to step up his passing game. What are some other keys to the game today that the NDSU needs to do to pull off a win?
If NDSU wants to pull off a victory today, the first thing, and I already kind of mentioned this, play a full 60-minute game. They cannot just at halftime fail to adjust in the second half. And that kind of leads into my second thing here, adjust at halftime. Because SDSU knows this team better than anybody, I would say. The Jackrabbits and the Bison know each other very well. They play each other every year. This is the biggest game for them every year. So they're going to know each other well. So whoever adjusts at halftime is going to win this game. And that's my opinion on that. And then also, got to start out strong. And NDSU did that well in the game in the Fargo Dome back in October. They started off strong, went out to a 21-7 lead. They just got to keep the foot on the gas and keep that momentum going. And lastly, the fans have got to be a big part of this game as well. It's not just the players. Whichever fan base brings the most juice to this stadium, that's going to definitely help the team out a lot as well.
Yeah, and we've definitely already been seeing quite the electric atmosphere, especially on the NDSU side, but there has been some SDSU as well. But the pep rally last night, they packed the outside of the Shields Plaza, even tailgating this morning and lining up for the team to walk in.
And I mean, this fan base knows Frisco well. It's Fargo South, according to most people in Fargo. I mean, we've been seeing Fargo fans all over. Even on our trip down here, we've been seeing NDSU and SDSU fans all the way down here. And I'm sure even though SDSU, this is only their second time here, I sure have no doubt in my mind that they have a lot of people here. They're very excited to be here, and especially against NDSU. Yeah. And there's going to be a lot of people throughout the country who watch FCS football who are going to be watching this game. The biggest rivalry probably in the FCS, and now it's in the championship game.
It's on the big stage.
Yeah, and it's had chances to be like this before, and it's just never worked out. Now, this is finally it, the big stage for all the marbles. Yeah. Not for the Dakota Marker Trophy, but it's for the championship trophy.
Better, yeah.
Yeah, something maybe even better. I don't know. I guess it depends who you ask. Maybe the players like the Dakota Marker Trophy better. But I guess at the end of the day, they much prefer a championship over the Dakota Marker.
And another question is actually this year going into the game, which is a very rare occurrence. NDSU is actually the underdog for this game. So how do you think that will affect the team going into this?
Yeah, it's not very often you see the Bison as underdogs, and I guess that's not helped with the fact that SDSU already beat the Bison earlier this year in the Fargo Dome. And, you know, it depends who you ask. ESPN has them at 5.5-point underdogs, where NGM has them at 4-point underdogs. Either way, it's just not often that NDSU comes out as the underdog. And personally, if you ask a lot of people at NDSU, they almost prefer that. They like to be kind of this underdog for once. It's like, you know what? They don't expect us to be the champions this time around. Maybe we'll show them that they're wrong.
And so the big question in everyone's mind is, can we pull it off today? Do you think we'll get this win today?
I do think so. I mean, NDSU, when they come down to Frisco, it's just a different atmosphere. I mean, they talk about the Fargo Dome being intense for the North Dakota State Bison. Frisco might be even better of an atmosphere if you're a Bison fan. Every time they come down here, all they do is win. They've won all 9 of the championships down here. Although, in my opinion, this definitely will be the hardest opponent that they've ever faced down here in Frisco. I have no doubt in my mind that SDSU is going to bring everything they got to this game, but so is NDSU. This will be an exciting game. It's going to be very close, down to the wire. It's going to be down to the last minute. I can guarantee you that. This game will not be over by halftime. It's going to be very close. And I predict a final score of North Dakota State 28, South Dakota State 24.
Okay. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. But thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to keep following along with you as we keep you updated throughout the day.